From the PEP Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are covering at this hour. Trib Live is reporting that officials and activists rally for transgender rights and have called on UPMC to provide gender-affirming care to minors. Last week, Cori Fraser was preparing to take their 18-year-old child for a gender-affirming surgery at UPMC. Salem, Fraser's child, who also uses they-them pronouns, found out just days before that the surgery was canceled. Fraser continued, saying that UPMC had scrap-planned gender-affirming treatments for patients under 19 to comply with an executive order President Donald Trump signed in January, though a federal judge has halted the measure, at least temporarily. It'll be June for Salem when they can have top surgery because they'll be 19, Fraser said. Salem can wait 3 months, but for some kids, it's years. This kind of care, Fraser said, is imperative. Gender-affirming healthcare is life-saving healthcare, according to Fraser. And dozens of other members of the LGBTQ community joined officials to call for UPMC to provide gender-affirming care, including to minors. Trump, in January, signed an executive order dubbed Protecting Children from Chemical and Surgical Mutilation that called on federal leaders to immediately take appropriate steps to ensure that institutions receiving federal research or education grants end the chemical and surgical mutilation of children. A federal judge issued an injunction that blocked enforcement of the order, which threatened federal funding for institutions that provided gender-affirming care for patients under 19. UPMC did not detail how the policy or the subsequent injunction impacted their policies around gender-affirming care. The healthcare giant continues to offer behavioral health and other support within the bounds of the law, the statement said. Pittsburgh's Mayor Ed Gainey joined Thursday's rally outside of UPMC's downtown headquarters to call for the health network to provide care. If you're worried about Donald Trump, don't bow down, Gainey said. Stand up. Similar protests were held across Pennsylvania in other UPMC locations, including Altoona, Lancaster, Lewisburg, and Erie. In other news, California lawmakers rejected a bill that would have banned transgender women and girl athletes from participating in girls' and women's sports on Tuesday, April 1st. Assembly Bill 89, introduced by Assemblymember Kate Sanchez, a Republican who represents the state's 71st Assembly District, sought to require that the California Interscholastic Federation prohibit athletes whose sex was assigned male at birth from participating on girls' or women's sports teams. The federation governs high school sports in California. The bill failed to pass out of the Assembly's Arts, Entertainment, Sports, and Tourism Committee, although Democrats' supermajority in both houses of the state legislature means the bill had no chance of passing. If you follow our news coverage on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the PEP Radio News channel. Download the Live 365 app to take PEP Radio with you wherever you go. That's the news at this hour, and now back to more music on PEP Radio.